Hey, Curious Connerys. Dylan here. We just want to give you a heads up that the following program contains conversation relating to topics that may or may not include physical and sexual assault and self-harm and mistreatment of different cultures. We are in no way condoning these things. But given that Sean Connery has acted in films going back many years, they've tended to come up. To spin a phrase from Disney, many of these films include negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures that were certainly wrong then and are definitely wrong now. But rather than not discuss this content, we'd like to acknowledge its harmful impact, learn from it, and create conversation for a richer future. Stay curious, folks. And now, on to our show.
Connery Curious! Saga! The Last Crusade! You Only Live Twice! And the Anderson Tapes! Murder on the Orient Express! You never know what the wheel's gonna spin next! Marnie and a Woman of Straw! And a Wounded Man in Africa! We are curious of the filmography of Sir Sean Connery.
Testing.
Testing.
Testicles.
Testicles 1, 2.
Alrighty. Well, I think after all this testing, we shouldn't keep pressing our luck. What do you think, Mario Lima?
I think let's do it.
Mario Lima,
Dylan Titus.
welcome to my studio.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Of
This
course.
has been lovely as always.
And for those of you out there listening, welcome to our podcast. Why don't you tell 'em what it is?
Connery Curious.
I didn't
Pod.
have to ask you.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you were
No,
gonna.
that's okay. Why don't you tell them again without me talking over it?
Connery
Why don't you
Curious.
tell them again?
I knew you were gonna do it. I knew it.
Go ahead.
This is Connery Curious, guys, where we rate and review every single film in Sir Sean Connery's filmography. And today we're talking about a little film called... Dylan, what's it called?
Woman of Straw.
Another theme song film.
Yes. Marnie and a Woman of Straw. I know a good man in Africa. Should we record ourselves? Let's do let's sing it real quick so I can punch it into the song for the beginning.
Okay.
Sorry, no, that's Last Crusade. You Only Live Twice in the Anderson Tapes. Murder on the Orient Express. You never know what the wheel's gonna spin next. Marnie and a Woman of Straw. Let's try that one more time. You never know what the wheel's gonna spin next.
Marnie and a World of Straw.
There we go.
I said it weird.
One more time.
Yeah.
You never know what the wheel's gonna spin next.
Marnie and a Woman of Straw.
Alrighty.
There it
Did
is.
it. There we go. We'll punch that one in. Boop. Awesome. The computer didn't freeze. All right. Yes, today we're talking about 1964's Woman of Straw. Shall I? Oh, actually, hold on. I've forgotten my usual process here. A 1964 crime thriller directed by Basil Dearden.
Basil. Whoop-dee-doo, Basil.
All right. Woman of Straw is a 1964 crime thriller directed by Basil Dearden and starring Gina Lollobrigida.
Whoa.
Lollobrigida? Say that 5 times fast.
Lollobrigida.
And Sean Connery. It was
Oh.
written by Robert Mueller and Stanley Manley. It's just Stanley Mann.
Stan Lee was a man.
Stanley Manley was a man. Stanley Manley had no plans.
Excelsior.
Adapted from the 1954 novel La Femme de Paille by Catherine Arley. Alrighty. So we've got, we both have like 2 sentences for each one.
Well, let's just do it. I think we can carry the episode without the plot. I think we just hit it with that, and then
Yeah.
let's go through. Like,
I'll do my trailer voice for both.
sure. Are they similar?
Sure, but I'll read them as if they were one movie.
Okay.
I'll read them seamlessly
Perfect.
so that it seems like the events are happening twice.
Nobody will ever know.
Exactly. Playboy Tony Richmond schemes to acquire the fortune of his uncle, Charles Richmond, a tyrannical, wheelchair-using tycoon, by persuading Maria, the new personal nurse he has hired, to marry the old man. After his... Wait. Hold on. Let's try this again. Playboy Tony Richmond schemes to acquire the fortune...
Fortune? Poirot.
Playboy Tony Richmond schemes to acquire the fortune of his uncle, Charles Richmond, a tyrannical wheelchair-using tycoon, by persuading Maria, the new personal nurse he has hired, to marry the old man. After his uncle's demise, Maria becomes a murder suspect. Lollobrigida's character is the woman of straw of the title.
Ah.
That is the Wikipedia summary. Part 2. IMDb. Tyrannical but ailing tycoon Charles Richmond becomes very fond of his attractive Italian nurse Maria. The nurse, in turn, falls in love with Charles' ne'er-do-well nephew Anthony, who plots ways to gain control of his uncle's fortune. Okay, now the IMDb trailer here looks very modern. Look at that font. It looks like it's like the 2004 epic release, the special edition of Woman of Straw. Gina Lollobrigida on a boat. Splash water on her. Now, in a courtroom.
Oh, that's cool. It looked like he was in the courtroom with that
Yeah.
shot. That's cool.
Woman of Straw. Though it's in the same exact font as all the other words. Own it now.
Whoa, look at that cover.
I hate it. I like the font, but I hate everything else.
The James Bond tuxedo.
Yeah, so let's get into it.
That's one thing I gotta say, man. I feel like all of Connery's wardrobe was from the set of the Bond movies. He had like the same suits on and stuff. Whoa, the new numbers.
Mario Lima,
Dylan Titus.
we're back. Day
back.
2.
Day 2 of the Woman of Straw. We like this movie so much, we decided to drop it into 2 sections.
Dude, I just had to cut out over 24 hours of podcasting.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second. I gotta unplug my headphones. But I'll leave that in. All right. Sorry, some wires were crossed there, just like our wires were crossed. And no, we did not do a 24-hour long podcast through the night. Sadly, maybe one day we will. Oh my God, maybe for Sir Billy, we do like a Sir Billy, like I said, we do the screening. We get a public venue and we do a screening of it. But then it's like we do it for 24 hours.
We run the movie for 24 hours.
We run the movie for 24 hours, and each consecutive viewing. So you've got a viewing of Sir Billy, then Sir Billy on mute with a band playing for an hour and a half, then Sir Billy again with the audio, then Sir Billy on mute with a different band playing, and thus for 24 hours, and it'll be the Sir Billy Music Festival.
Sir Billy Music Festival.
The Connery Curious
presents Sir Billy live.
Exactly.
John Williams will play the score with an orchestra in front of him. Playing Sir Billy.
Well, boys, I'm almost dead, but I came out to play music with you, and I just love this film so much. I think Sir Billy looks like me.
He said Indiana Jones was going to be his last one, but he said one more. Sir Billy.
Sir Billy. Yeah, needed a rescore. I simply wouldn't do with the score that it had. Oh, I love your cup. This is it's John Williams. This is my John Williams. He's not British, I don't think.
No, he's
right?
not.
No, he's American, and he does not speak with an accent. He's just got a very soft, hoarse voice. Nay.
Just make a horse noise?
Nay.
Well, here's your carrot, sir. Sir Williams.
Nay.
Anyways.
I don't eat carrots.
Oh,
I only play Sir Billy.
well, thank you.
But yeah, I think we should do that, and it'll give, like, think of all the different bands that can provide different soundtracks to Sir Billy. So, like, I don't know if I told you this, but in the parking lot between my apartment and the business next to it, it's a big parking lot, and the owner of that business is very supportive of the arts. And last October on Halloween, no, it was like 2 days before Halloween, I think. Anyway, oh, it's the wind. I've got the windows open.
And the lion.
As long as it's Nacho Man Dandelion, he's cool. But Macho Man Randy Lion. Anyway, they he had a screening of Nosferatu.
Whoa.
He had a big inflatable screen, and they projected Nosferatu, but it was on mute, and a jazz band called Quantum Moon played the whole time.
Whoa.
And did the score for the thing, like, and completely. It was like 50% written, like themes that were meant to be hit on for different scenes, and then the rest of it was improvised.
Whoa.
As in between stuff. It was amazing. Because I was chatting with them afterwards, and he's like, yeah, I wrote about half of it, and then the rest we just kind of figured out our way to get in between them.
Wow.
And it was really cool. So imagine what different bands could do playing over Sir Billy. Because that movie looks like such a nightmare acid trip. I can't wait to watch it.
Me too. Who knows? Maybe we'll roll it today. Who knows?
Oh, is that the one we saved?
I don't know. We'll see.
We each get a veto, right? Didn't we?
Everybody, we get one veto.
Okay. One veto on any movie? Or just on Sir Billy? So I think maybe Sir Billy gets one veto from each of us, and then we can have one other veto. Or is that not fair?
I feel like that's not fair. I feel like the Sir Billy one is fair enough.
The wheel tells all.
Yeah, the wheel controls our lives.
But I think we did come up with an agreement that if it was something that was like unattainable completely, or like needed some time or something, like we would do our research and come back if it was determined where we couldn't watch it or it wasn't worth watching.
Yeah.
We'd spin again. Anyway.
Well, we'll discuss that after. Let's finish Woman of Straw.
Yes. So that's where we were at yesterday. And we're back now. My computer is working back up to speed. Knock, knock. The closest actual wood I have to me. Yeah, let's pick back up on Woman of Straw.
So the last thing I said before we got off air was I feel like half of the wardrobe Connery wore in this was like the wardrobe from like the Bond films, man. He had like some of the same suits on, including the classic white tux from Goldfinger.
Minus the red carnation. I feel like every suit, everything, you're right, everything was very Bond. It was like dress him up in Bond and take away one thing. You know what I mean?
Like the regular black suit he would wear, or like kind of a gray suit. He had a blue undershirt on. And that bothered me because I'm like, Bond doesn't wear a blue shirt.
Yeah, make one change. You either take away one thing or change it or add one thing. Usually less so adding one thing, but usually take away or replace one thing.
He did have a really nice black tuxedo that was like the standard. It looked like the Dr. No like opening, James Bond tuxedo. So I'm like, that was.
And he does have a blue terry cloth at some time.
Yeah, he wears a Thunderball outfit.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry. Are we limited on Zoom?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I just got. Let me share my screen with you. Let's pause recording real quick.
Oh, remaining meeting time 9 minutes, huh? It's probably because you started it.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Do you have a pro account?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay. Well, then let's just keep recording. You call me back. And whatever
We
gets caught in...
we have to start a whole new Zoom.
That's okay.
So.
Just keep your audio. Are you recording via Zoom?
Oh no, I'm recording on my other thing.
Okay, we'll just keep the audio going. So we'll be completely on our own for about 30 seconds while you send me the link.
All right, I will.
Alrighty.
I'll see you. I'll see you on the other side.
See you on the other side.
Oh man, I missed Dylan already.
Bow, bow,
Hope he's okay.
bow, bow, bow,
I'm gonna
bow,
find
bow.
our Zoom links.
Because I see you.
Dylan,
I see you on the other side.
Oh no, he's not there yet.
I really like that
Gonna find our Zoom link.
Ozzy Osbourne song and record. That's the record, right? I think Zakk Wylde's guitar tone on that is just gorgeous. It's so watery, and then the guitar solo is just, it's like really tasty. From Osmosis, yes, it's not an album. It's from the album Osmosis, which I know isn't one of his most popular ones, but I really like a lot of songs on that album. I Just Want You, See You on the Other Side. I remember Perry Mason being pretty damn good.
He sees it. He sees the message.
All right, Mario has sent me the Zoom meeting link, so I'm going to open it now.
Click the button. You can do it.
Depending on what he said on the other side, I'm going to re-edit the conversation so we're not just talking over each other.
Dylan, is that you?
That's me.
Oh my goodness, that was a very stressful 2 minutes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why? Can you see me?
I can't see you though.
You can't see me? Oh, start video. Can you see me now?
I can see you now. Okay, anyways.
Good.
How great were those suits?
They were great. Now tell me, did Bond... what did you... I'm sorry, real quick. What did you talk about while we were gone?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, okay. I get to hear it?
Yeah.
Afterwards? Well, I'll tell you because I'm doing the editing, so you may not hear this for a little bit.
Sure.
I reflected on how damn good of a song See You on the Other Side by Ozzy Osbourne is.
That's a good song.
It's a great song, dude. Zakk Wylde's guitar tone in that song is gorgeous. It's all watery, and then his guitar solo is perfect.
I'm a big old fan of Perry Mason.
Yeah, that's a good tune, too.
I like that band. Wow, 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 Perry Mason. That's a good solo, too.
I need to re-listen to that whole album.
It's a good album.
I have the Wikipedia page open here. Apparently, it didn't really get great reviews, but
it aged. It had to age like wine, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-listen to it because the only ones I've kept on repeat are I Just Want You and See You on the Other Side.
Yeah, I mean that's like there's a lot of good songs on that record, right?
Yeah, but those are just the ones that I guess I've like added to my Spotify songs list. So they come up, but I need to just put on the album again because it's got some really good guitar work. Yeah. Okay. So Woman of Straw. Do you remember Bond at all wearing a purple turtleneck? Because Connery wears one in this film.
Was it purple? I thought it was black.
I think it was a purple turtleneck.
Him in a turtleneck is dope. I feel. It's very reminiscent of Moore's like Bond look in Live and Let Die with the turtleneck. All he needed was a cool like gun holster and he would look dope. I
think people look good in turtlenecks, but I cannot stand turtlenecks. They make me so uncomfortable.
Oh yeah. His looked cozy though. It looked like it was very like light and like thin. It didn't look uncomfortable. It looked like I would have liked to wear that maybe.
Could you share could you give me the ability to share screen because I will I have the film pulled up here so we can reference it when we need to.
All right, you should be good now.
Awesome. Thank you, friend. Boom. Can you see that?
I can't see. It's all black.
Okay, well.
Sharing is weird.
Can you... No.
I can see dust, though. Oh, no, I can see it. I can see it.
Excellent. Okay, so just so that way we have the ability to reference things in the film. But But yeah, he had some good outfits in this.
But yeah, as I was
film.
saying before, like he had like the exact Thunderball outfit with the blue shorts and like the blue button up and the sunglasses.
Yeah, the terry cloth, right?
It was like terry cloth, yeah, and
Yeah.
like, but it looked.
And then he
just
takes his shirt off too.
It's like the same kind of like Thunderball look. So like,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So yeah, he looked like $1 million in this. Like you could easily cut like some of his scenes into a Bond movie, and you would think it was a part of that movie because it just looked like at some points I'm like, man, even some of the locations we were like, this looks like the actual house. Like
yeah,
his uncle's house looked like Goldfinger's club.
Is that okay? The white tuxedo Connery wears in this film is the same one he wears in Goldfinger.
It is.
Yeah, the jacket even has the initials AR sewn on the inside, which stands for his character's name, Anthony Richmond. That's something I want to address. Can you? I could not stop thinking of him as just Sean. Could you see him as Anthony Richmond?
Tony maybe, but not Anthony.
Not even. I don't think I could see him as Tony. Maybe that's just me.
If he had a mustache, if we're talking like if he was back in like Cuba or something, I'd be like, that looks like a Tony. Tonys usually have mustaches in my life. I don't know.
Only the exterior of Audley End House in Essex. Audley End House. So that's where it was filmed? For the outside of the house. Riveting podcasting. I don't think it was the same location as Goldfinger.
Huh. It looks very similar, though, that's for sure.
It doesn't... I can't see anything on the Wikipedia. I'm sorry, on the IMDb. I'm going to the wiki now. Yeah. Audley End House. So I don't think that this was Goldfinger.
But the tuxedo
not
was.
Goldfinger. Okay. Yeah, so not the same location as Goldfinger.
Well, it's got the same.
But it was shot at Pinewood Studios, though, which was Goldfinger.
So, okay. So, yeah, there's connection there.
Right? Yes, the James Bond franchise. Yep. Oh, and in fact, even, let me share this screen with you. Oh, well, anyway, when you go to the Wikipedia page for Pinewood Studios, the second picture is of Goldfinger Avenue. So yeah, that answers the question.
Wow.
So it was shot in the same place as Goldfinger, not that mansion. That's not from Goldfinger. All right, so I'm going to read this critical reception section from Wikipedia. In a contemporary review in the New York Times, Eugene Archer wrote, "What could be more archaic than the sight of James Bond himself, Sean Connery, stalking glumly through the very type of old-fashioned thriller he usually mocks? That is exactly what we have in Woman of Straw, and you can be certain that Mr. Connery did not look one bit more unhappy than yesterday's audience at the Criterion, where the hapless British film crept into town. For despite the fancy trappings laid on by the respected old producer-director team of Michael Ralph and Basil Dearden..."
Whoop-de-doo, Basil.
Thank you. "This handsomely colored exercise is the kind of pseudo-Victorian nonsense that Alfred Hitchcock long ago laid to rest." In a 2008 review, Steve Lewis in Mystery File noted, "Most of professional reviews have been negative, but with one tiny qualification on my part. In most opinion, most of the professional reviews are wrong. If you are a fan of detective fiction and if you ever come across a copy of this movie, by all means, don't hesitate. Snap it up at once." What do you agree with? Which of these two reviews do you agree with? Or do you lean closer to?
Probably the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this film, man. This was
I also really enjoyed this film.
like this was insane. Like at first, we're kind of like we weren't sure what we thought. I think I think at least 3 times you said, "I wish I bought this film." Never mind. I wish I didn't. I definitely don't want to buy this film.
Yeah,
Then at the end,
yes,
you're like,
I kept
want to buy it.
flip-flopping.
Yeah, like I want.
What do
buy
you
this
think? Do you want to buy it?
I would. I mean, we usually talk about this towards the end of the episode, but I'll talk about it now. I would watch it again.
I also would watch it again, and I want to bring something to your attention because I couldn't fall asleep last night, and at midnight I was online looking for this film. Like, if you go on eBay, it is very hard to find an inexpensive copy that isn't from a different country.
Really?
So this is a South Korean release of Woman of Straw. This will be my new segment of the show, is like international DVD releases, because I got the Sword of the Valiant one, and now this one from South Korea. But you see, it's got English subs and audio, and I really like that art. I don't know why, but if you look, all of the copies of Woman of Straw.
Oh, I really like that Blu-ray art, though.
Yeah, I like that Blu-ray art, but that's we wouldn't be able to play that. It's region specific. And this one, a little expensive, $23 for the DVD, and then shipping $17 extra for La Mujer de Paja. But if we do Woman of Straw, look at the cost of these DVDs. Like $30 for the bare minimum.
Jeez.
Some of them even go as high as $60, and I saw one in here that was like $100 when I was browsing. Anyway, so quite expensive for a regular old DVD. $31. Ooh, I like this art.
Hey, look at that.
Ooh. La Donna de Paglia.
Really does.
I like them.
It really does throw it off, though, because like seeing that the original poster, having someone looking over the way there with the gun, it's like, is Connery gonna die in this? Like, get shot in the head or something?
From this poster, yeah. There's no character with a gun.
But the original, yeah, but the original poster. Look at the original poster. Same idea. It's them on the towel.
Oh, not that one. Woman of Straw. Let's get a little chilly. Oh, yes.
Same thing.
Oh, and he's got a gun. Yeah, I never even noticed that.
So it's like, and who is that supposed to be?
I think it's supposed to be.
Because they're looking over Connery, and
I think it's supposed to be Charles Richmond.
I guess.
Do you think so?
I don't know.
I think it's just to create intrigue.
Yeah, it's a little misleading, but
it's very misleading because he
it's the Bond gun too, like that they use in all the posters for Connery. So it's like maybe they're like trying to because they know Connery as Bond, so they're kind of like trying to like get people in to believe that he's going to be a little Bondish in it, but not really. Like,
and this moment here on said poster, the moment in the film on that raft, they're not making out.
Yeah.
He is rebuffing her advances. In this, it looks like she's turning him down, or at least going with it, kind of.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to read it, but either way, it looks like something's happening on his account, which it's not the case. Yeah. But like in the film, he's turning that down to make it look to the captain of the boat like she's hitting on him, and he's turning it down. Even though he's like, no, not now. It's so easy to set fire to a woman of straw, and between them was conceived murder.
Brilliant. One of my favorite posters, I think.
I really like this one too. Yeah,
One day we'll have to rate the posters.
I'm down for that.
That's a good poster. I love that font. I want to figure out what that font is.
Do you want to take 5 minutes and just go back to our tier list and just rank the posters? That'll be easier than the films.
We'll do that like at a later time, I think.
Okay.
Let's get through.
Because I think the Molly Maguire's poster might win for me.
I think so. I have a few.
That poster kicks ass. Or punches poster. It punches poster.
Punches poster.
That poster punches my poster.
I have to look at them all.
This film will punch your poster.
Beautiful.
All right, I'm sorry. For as much as I like this film, I'm not talking about it very much.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, all right. Shall we get into our notes?
Yeah, I'll just start off.
We don't have a plot summary to follow, so we're going to have to remember it the best we can.
Oh, yeah.
I also listened to half this movie today while I worked.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, my first note, credits, 10 out of 10.
Love the credits. I really want that Connery, that red Connery eyes thing as like a wallpaper. It was really cool.
Right? I'll get a screenshot. And the having the classical music over it. Was it Beethoven?
Yeah, a lot of Beethoven. Music was very important in this movie.
And re-listening to the film, I noticed when when Charles Richmond is in a position of being wrong and being called out for being wrong or being an asshole, that's when he draws attention to the music. But listen to the fluttering and how gentle it is. All right?
Yeah.
Because he's a scumbag.
Man, how many times did you think maybe he's us as a bad guy, and then he reels you back in, and he's like, "Yep, he's a piece of shit. He sucks."
Yeah, but ultimately, what the film becomes kind of forces you to sympathize with him. Do you think so? Like when spoilers, when the character dies, do you feel that like, okay, now I kind of want him to be avenged? All right, he was murdered. This wasn't part of the plan.
Yeah, I think once that recording comes out, spoilers towards the end, when it's revealed that Anthony was the one to poison them, it's like, "You poisoned me," blah blah, and you disconnect the bell, and this tells everything that happened. When when I was leaning towards Thomas, the server, to be the one, because he's the first person you see come down the stairs when Maria leaves. So I'm like,
I didn't think he did it.
I think they tried to tell you that it was.
Okay, real quick, folks, we're just spoiling this movie straight out. If you haven't seen Woman of Straw, go watch it because it's damn good.
Pause now, go watch it, and come back.
Yeah, I don't think what we said it is a spoiler. It was a huge spoiler, but I don't think it will affect your enjoyment of the film because it's really good. It's really good, and I think it's one note I have on this film is so much dead air. There's just a lot of breathing room in this film. Like a lot of not anything happening. And I think stretches like that will make you forget about everything we just spoiled for you. So pause the podcast and come back when you have seen the film. We're back.
Beautiful.
Alrighty. Welcome back. I'm Dylan Titus.
Mario Lima.
Okay.
So hold on real quick, because one of my notes was I was talking about the captain of the ship.
Yep.
Peter Madden. He was another actor who was in From Russia with Love, who was playing chess. He was the guy that was going against the guy from Spectre.
Oh.
Because we just had the other guy playing chess who was in The Next Man.
Yes.
I believe. So look at those. We've got
Hold on,
both.
let's be sure. What was his name? Anthony Dawson? No, it's not Anthony Dawson. Vladek Sheybal.
So what was he in?
He was also in Casino, that Casino Royale, the '67 one.
No way.
Yes, what did we see him in? The Wind and the Lion.
When
He was the
Lion.
Bashaw.
That's what it was. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So yeah. So I made a note that he looked a little bit like Willem Dafoe in certain scenes. But yeah, turns out he is. That's a next Bond connection. And if you look at the cast, there was a character called Dr. Murray that had his scenes deleted, played by Douglas Wilmer, who was the guy who sat next to Roger Moore during the
Yes!
Octopussy auction scene.
And we also saw him in
He was in something else, right?
Sword of the Valiant. He's the Black Knight.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
So many connections here.
Oh, I love doing this podcast.
Yeah, right. Like so many fun little connections. It's funny because you just see the images they use for their cat. Like, if you look at the IMDb cast, Peter Madden, it's his still from when he's playing chess in Rush with Love.
Yeah, and he does very much look like Willem Dafoe.
Yeah. And then Douglas Wilmer, that's his IMDb credit.
Is
him
from
with
Octopussy.
Like
That's too funny.
He's the only one that has somebody else in his. Like that's how he gets credit. Is like I played with Roger Moore in a film.
I'm sad his scenes were deleted.
Yeah, so he must have been the doctor not supposed to show up.
Yeah, that's the first like real joke in the film. Fetch Dr. Murray. And then 2 seconds later, and where are you going? To get Dr. Murray. Well, hurry up about it.
So we never get to see Dr. Murray. What would have been?
Well, maybe when we order the South Korean DVD, it'll have that deleted scene on it.
Yeah, I gotta find those deleted scenes.
Unfortunately, the deleted scenes are only dubbed in South Korean.
Oh, well, I know some people who speak that, so we can.
Also, it's something I found out while clicking on through the IMDb Cooper, that Gina Lollobrigida. Gina Lollobrigida. Anyway, I can't do it. She died of January 26th this year.
Really?
Yeah, at age 95.
Wow, God bless.
And she's best known for playing Esmeralda in the 1956 Hunchback of Notre Dame.
No, really?
Yes.
Nice.
Starring Anthony Quinn as Quasimodo.
I kept wondering if she looked somewhat like. I was trying to think if she was in From Rush with Love or Goldfinger or something, because she looked like I was thinking about that the camp scene.
Oh yeah,
she could have been one of the dancers, I thought, but she looks so. I mean, a lot of I don't know the makeup that back then, the style. A lot of girls looked kind of the same back then.
I feel like it would have been in her best known for section of IMDb Cooper.
Huh.
Yeah, it looks like she was acting from 1946 though.
Wow.
She was great in this film.
She was. I loved her. She's beautiful. Beautiful.
And sassy, but stern. Not trying to be funny sassy, just not taking any of this nonsense.
Yeah.
This is clearly nonsense, and she does not have time for this. And makes it clear, I could be paid the same. I take the same amount every patient. It doesn't matter. Just because you're rich doesn't mean anything to me. You offering me more money means nothing to me. I get paid my rate, and that's it. And so re-listen. Granted, I didn't watch it, but listening to the film, because that's what I was able to do while I was working, and having the time to marinate on the film in between that, Connery is Tony Richmond is manipulating the whole time.
Yeah.
He is Palpatine.
He is. He really is. And the first time, I fell for it, man. I fell for everything. I was like, shit, man, he's good. So when that reveal at the end happens, a part of me was like, maybe it's him. But why would it be him? Because he's trying to do all this. And
he's actively orchestrating this plot. He wouldn't he wouldn't preemptively murder his uncle. So, yeah,
Genius.
it's a very genius plot, except for, how did he not? All right, so again, in the spoilers, folks, Connery's plan is to get Tony Richmond's plan is to have Nurse Maria Marcello marry his rich uncle Charles Richmond, and when Uncle Charles dies pretty damn soon, she'll get the money, which Connery says, I'll give you $1 million of it, which seems pretty unfair. He should have offered to split it. I think that would have been fair, right? Anyway, considering she was probably gonna have to suck his dick. Like, I'm only getting $1 million out of 50 million. No. You want 49 million? You're gonna have to suck his dick 48 times.
Whoa.
Anyway, but basically to get the will changed, because he's going to leave all his money to dog shelters, it sounds like, but he doesn't understand dogs. Because the first thing that happens in the film is he gets bit by a dog.
Yeah.
Justifiably so, because he's trying to make them jump over each other.
Dog's like, I don't know how to fucking do this.
Which he then, in a later scene, makes his 2 servants, Thomas and Fenton, he makes them do that. He's like, do you do it, and the dogs will copy you. So one of them kneels down and the other is jumping over them. And these are adults that are really capable of hurting each other, and they do. And it's not. So I have a note on that. In that, I really started to see Charles Richmond as Calvin Candy. And I wonder if that scene, and as well as the one in the dining room where he talks about how he's so racist. Oh, he's so fucking racist. Talks about how he's like, he has found Africans that are still domesticated. It's like horrible. It's so horrible. It's like these ones know how to serve, and they love doing it. And when they're jumping over each other, Maria walks away, storms away furiously, rightfully so. And then he's like a monster. He's like, what? They enjoy it. They like it. Ugh. I'm sorry. I've strayed really far. But like, this movie is a lot of things. My note on that with talking about Calvin Candy is like, I wonder if Tarantino took cues from this film. Like, okay, that's what a really racist guy would do. Like, it felt like it was setting up a revenge fantasy kind of thing. Like, okay, so yeah, I guess that would have been a good cause for Thomas to have killed him. All right, I've been talking for so long. Talk.
Well, yeah, going back to that, man. I mean, yeah, Leo DiCaprio in that film, like, definitely took that character to higher heights. I feel so. Like, I wonder if
Horrifying heights.
Yeah, so I wonder if like a film like this,
or depraved depths.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if like a film like this would inspire that. I mean, yeah, I could see it. Like people like who directed it, Tarantino. Tarantino does grab from a lot of old movies. I still have yet to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm dying to see that. I don't think is that him?
Oh, I love that film so much.
So
I didn't see it in theaters. That's my only regret.
Yeah, me
but
either,
I've
so
watched it like 4 times.
I gotta see it.
And I've read the book, and the book is entirely different from the film. Don't read the book first. Watch the movie first.
Will do.
Or you know what? read the book first. Yeah, do it. Read the book first.
We'll see. I don't have time
Yeah.
for books anymore.
Well,
I'll
then,
try.
then listen to the audiobook.
Audiobook. Okay.
But it's an interesting audiobook
Okay.
that doesn't really have much to do with the events of the movie, but kind of hints to them. So seeing the film first, because the film was first. So seeing the film first, you're like, what? When are these awesome things going to happen in this book? But if you were reading the book first, you'd be like, this is a good book, hinting towards some crazy stuff. What is this? What are these crazy things? And then you see the movie and like, oh my God, these are these crazy things. Holy shit. Anyway, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Fun film.
Looks good. Next note I have here, cinematography. Very great looking shots in this movie. I like the kind of swelling camera movements that I feel like you don't see much of in movies of this era. I don't know, just like shot. I keep having a trailer here playing next to me on the IMDb, and just the shots in there are great of his uncle, and then panning up to Connery just standing there, and it's like right there is kind of like, why aren't you sus of this guy? Like, he looks like he hates him.
Yeah.
So that's why I was still shocked at the end. I'm like, man, I can't believe he did it.
Lots of long shots too. Like right in the beginning, there's one where he's discussing that new contract, and it's just a long shot of the elevator going up.
Yeah.
You know, lots of weird and like I said, dead air. So like she just goes into a room and like takes off her robe, which I get it. Everyone wants to see lady in movie. You go to the movie to see a lady.
Oh yeah.
You take a lady to the movie to see a lady, son. That's how it's done. It's 1964. And those Beatles are poison. They're a threat to our masculinity. You hear? This is the same year as Goldfinger. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He's better in Goldfinger than... No, he's not. He's better in this than he is in Goldfinger.
It's a different
It's a different performance entirely.
Yeah.
It's way more suspenseful in this film. Goldfinger, it's so cheeky and throwaway. Like, there's not one moment of like tense acting in Goldfinger where, like, are there any moments in Goldfinger where you're really, besides the laser scene
and
this isn't knocking Goldfinger, by the way. This is just
that I feel like that end bank scene is pretty tense, of like him taking on Odd Job, and it's like
that's pretty good.
A bomb's about to go off, and like, so it's like, you know, that's tense being a first viewer of that. And I mean, Christ, but like, it's been said in interviews in the past where Connery wasn't happy with Bond in that movie because he was behind everything, and like he was always one step behind, and in this movie he is 10 steps ahead everybody.
He's the mastermind.
Like, this is the Bond I want, is just the one that, like,
except not a horrible monster.
Yeah, not a horrible monster, but still, it's just like he is. I like going back and thinking about it, like, man, it's genius. How did I not see it? Because I didn't see it because, you know, I see Connery, and I'm like, in my mind, because I know him so well, I'm like, oh, he would never do something so crazy. But I think that's a thing why they casted him, because they're like, this time they're like, this dude is in Goldfinger, he's like a spy, he's like a hero. And what's a way to make him completely different? Make him the villain
that you don't see coming. You're rooting for him the whole time because you see that his
uncle sucks.
Yeah, and you get the backstory of his mother, and that really endears you to him. So, quick, can you stop moving your mic with your face? Because and especially when you're talking, because it like blows out and then creates a weird popping that I can't do anything about.
Got it.
Thank you. Yeah, when he's talking about his mother, and when because you first hear he's like, my wife adored me, and I haven't for 20 years I haven't had good feminine company. That's not really what he sounds like, but and you're like, okay, I get it. He's been alone for a while, and maybe that's why he's a horrible monster. But then you find out, like, okay, he drove Connery's father to suicide and married his mother. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is heartbreaking. And one of the things I was thinking about while listening today at work, I want to see a Woman of Straw prequel.
Oh.
You could totally do it. You don't need any of these actors.
Yeah, of course.
You just cast a child as Tony Richmond, and then you've got the tale of these two brothers and the woman that loved one of them and then loved the other. Like, what's the story behind that? I have to know. Like, they went into business together, and then the father was driven out by the brother, or one brother who had a wife and son was driven out by the other brother who didn't. Like, what? And eventually driven to the point of suicide. What is that story? I need to know. Because I think that would, our Better Call Saul to our Breaking Bad.
Yeah, seriously. An episode 3 to our,
Right.
our New Hope, it's like, it is intriguing for sure. So that's like another factor. It's where it's like, man, do you feel 100% like hatred towards Connery's character? Because like he did it for like kind of like revenge, but at the same time he had like this innocent bystander that didn't deserve it. Like, did he just hate his mom so much that like he's like, this girl reminds me of my mom, so I'm gonna ruin her too?
Yeah, he brought that up at the end, right? Like, when she's in prison. That's so, it's so genius. It's such a genius plan the way he goes through with it, but it's so fucked up that she gets thrown in prison the whole time, and she was the one that had to go through so much and probably had to suck that old guy's dick. Like,
I don't think his
granted,
dick worked.
Connery had to go through years of worse shit for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe didn't have to suck his dick, but whatever experiences Connery had been through, he had clearly made a choice to go down a bad path and was unredeemable at that point. That stuff is gonna blow away. Boop. That'll do. Okay. It was interesting. I brought up that Better Call Saul therapy series I was listening to, or analyzed by a therapist, and it's all about choices. And the first video I was listening to was the difference between doing something out of personal gain and betterment or money, and then doing something out of revenge, and who gets hurt through these actions. Like, what way you say, I want this. Why do I want it? And is somebody going to get hurt in the getting of that thing? And Connery, Tony Richmond, I call him Sean Connery. Tony Richmond has clearly been, for over 20 years, been forming this plan and knows exactly who he needs to hurt to get his $50 million. So we first see him at 2 minutes 35 seconds.
Yep, right off the bat, he's there.
Yeah, we see Charles first. He rolls out to play with the dogs, and then we see some lawyers and such, and then Connery walks into frame looking smooth as fuck.
Yep.
Though I will say, I don't think he looks as handsome in this film. I think he looks more handsome in Goldfinger.
Really?
Yeah. What do you think of the glasses? This is the first time we've seen Connery in glasses, right?
I dug the glasses, man. I think it gave us a whole new, like, aesthetic. I have a picture somewhere of the glasses. I just
Did
saw
he
it.
have glasses in literally anything else we've watched so far? Next Man?
Next Man, did he have glasses? I don't remember.
Good Man in Africa, maybe, because he was a doctor.
One he definitely has it all through is we haven't seen it yet is Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
It's
that's
all
true.
glasses.
I'm willing to bet he's got some in Finding Forrester. Anyway, these were big black rimmed glasses. Like, he looked dorky in them.
Yeah.
And the first time he puts them on, it cuts away immediately and then cuts back and he doesn't have them on.
Yeah, he's like putting them on, then he's holding them again. I was like, you tease, put the glasses on. I want to see the glasses.
You know that's my fetish. I started out as myself, but then because glasses aren't my fetish, I changed it to Sean Connery's fetish.
Oh, so there we go. Yeah. But yeah, no,
given that I have to remove my glasses during, such activities so that they don't break. Anyway.
I don't know, man. I think he's. I mean, we'll get to that later. But like, I think he looks.
Yeah.
I think he looks good.
Ken Adam is the production designer on this film, from the Bond films. So another continuity. What else you got for notes?
I think on that note, like I said before, you could cut that. That makes sense because you could cut this with any Bond movie. They're just having it.
Any Connery Bond film.
Any Connery Bond. Yeah, just like you could take any like scene of him walking or entering a room, and I would believe that it was like a deleted scene from like Goldfinger or something. Even like the office at the end, it looked like M's office.
Or you could insert Bond scenes into this movie and you wouldn't know that you weren't watching Woman of Straw.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Until he spoke.
Yeah.
And be like, wait a second. This guy's a lot smoother than the other guy.
Yeah, right. It's never happened to the other fellow.
This guy doesn't get walked over as much as the other one's letting himself get walked over by this wheelchair guy. And wait, where'd wheelchair guy go?
Yeah.
Wheelchai?
Wheelchai.
That's when I want my refreshing beverage, but I want it rolled to me.
Put it in a Wheelchai.
Anyway, what else you got?
I don't have too much, actually. Let me see. We already kind of went over the costume design.
He's the only one with real interesting outfits, except for her party outfit. Her party dress is...
Oh, my God. Stole the show.
The shiniest thing in the world, and her hair looks like it was shoved on.
Yeah, she looks like $1 million in that scene.
And then her goofy as hell swimming cap.
Oh, yeah. She had that weird, like floral...
multicolored... acid trip.
It's weird.
And he had some, like typical rich billionaire outfits.
He looked like James Bond the whole movie.
No, I mean Charles Richmond. Excuse me.
Charles Richmond. Yeah, you just like. Did you? We joked about it when they first said like we had to get him off the boat when he's dead. And we're like,
okay.
Are they really gonna weekend at Bernie this? And they weekend.
And they
Bernie
do. So he dies on the boat, and Connery says, "Oh, he signed the will. Damn it! But we have to get the will registered." Have you told anyone that he's dead? No? Okay, excellent. So you go back into his cabin, pretend he's alive, and when we dock, we're going to dress him up and wheel him out of here. And they do. And she's talking to him like he's still alive. And everyone just kind of goes with it and also testifies that he was alive when he arrived there. Like, no, he would... Okay, I do have a note on that. I have a note on this. We should remake this film as... I wrote this, remake this ass adult comedy. But we should remake this as an adult comedy that's just like, keep the same plot, but he dies and he has to get there to register the will. He's got to do it in person. It's still like there's no twist. There's no double crossing. Once it gets to the point where he's dead on the boat and they have to get him to London to register the will, that's the plot now, and we're in full comedy mode. And
They have they have to marionette his arm with a pen to sign. It's all scribbles. Well done, Uncle. All signed up now.
But they've got like poles underneath the blankets and such. And as I said earlier, while we were watching, excuse me, he's gonna smell like shit because he will have voided his bowels and colon and bladder, excuse me, and he's just gonna be covered in waste. So you're gonna have to clean that off. So imagine a comedic scene where you've got your male and female lead, and they're like hoisting a dead body, like poo is like leaking through the pant legs.
Oh.
And then they like bring him into the master bathroom, and they have to like bend him over the edge of the tub and like wipe him clean, and then hoist his legs in and just flop a dead body into the tub and shower it off.
Oh my God! All this for like $50 million.
50, which if we make it into today's day is not a lot of money comparatively. Like, it is a lot of money to you or I, but like, you know, in the age of Elon Musk, it's not.
Yeah.
And because they're on a boat every time, and the boat is still on choppy waters, so they're trying to shower out all the shit off this dead body, but it's rocking back and forth, and the body is flapping left and right.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry, that's a bit much. Sorry, folks. I work blue on this podcast. Mario stays in the yellow to green territory and doesn't join me in the blue.
Sometimes I do.
You don't need to if you don't want to.
But yeah, I don't have many other notes here. What do you have to wrap up your notes here?
I did write weekend at Bernie's, but I made the little at sign, so I wrote weekend at Bernie's.com. Do you have a note? What year is this supposed to be?
I'm assuming just the 60s.
You think so? I think it was more like the... Oh, wait a second. There's that Rolls Royce and the Jaguar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it probably is in the 60s. But at first, you don't really see many cars, so it's hard to tell.
They're all
Am I
they're all very like old school. Well, like, I mean, because they're in Puerto Rico at one point, and there's that really like...
That's Mallorca.
Like, there's that really old truck, you know, that could be... It looked like it was only from the 40s, maybe 50s. But I think it was like contemporary for its time. I think it was 60s.
Yeah, especially I completely forgot about the cars. It's the novel is from 1954 or 1956, and on the same Wikipedia article it gives two different years. Huh. So let's call it 1955.
And to
La Femme de
confirm,
Paille.
the Jaguar he drove was a 1964 Jaguar. So
That looks awesome too.
Looks
What
like a
kind
new
of
car.
Jaguar does Bond drive?
I don't think he doesn't drive a Jaguar. Just drives a Aston Martin.
But in the books, doesn't he?
He had a Bentley in the novels,
Oh, yes.
which they mention in Goldfinger. He asks, "Where's my Bentley?" And Q says, "Had its day, I'm afraid." So that's like the only reference to the Bentley we ever have.
So the Jaguar XKR is in Die Another Day as Zhao's car.
Yep.
The Jaguar E-Type is... Oh, shoot. The Jaguar E-Type was in Thunderball, in the car park of Thunderball, and later used in the 1967 Casino Royale.
Oh, okay.
And it appears in the book Carte Blanche.
Wait a minute.
And the Jaguar XF is in No Time to Die.
One.
Is it really?
Look up Jaguar Thunderball. It's the same one with the same like plates
I'm
in
not
the
sure.
parking lot.
So this is what I've got for that one.
Yeah, that's the same one. Now look up the one.
KMT 799C. Okay.
Oh no, it is a okay. No, it's a different plate.
I'll pull it up in the film here. He does look badass when he pulls up to.
So that's cool. They had that car on set, and I guess they're like, let's give him the Jaguar.
Oh, this long shot in the courtroom as the judge goes on. Though it's tense as hell. It's very, very tense.
You got to go back more, I think.
Yeah. No, it's when he pulls up thinking that he's won. Right?
Yeah, but he comes in a different car.
Oh. Huh. Okay. So, when he wasn't answering the phone, what were you thinking? I was thinking that he was picked up by the police.
I was thinking that, or I was thinking he was like skipping town. Because I think we like speaking of Casino Royale, I was thinking of like a Vesper moment where she's taken off with the money, and that was my first suspicion of like maybe he did something wrong here.
I can't seem to find the moment with the Jaguar.
Well, if you look up Jaguar Thunderball on Google, and you'll see both images.
The one from Woman of Straw?
Yeah, it's like under it. Yeah, I'll share my screen. So this is the Thunderball shot.
Oh yeah, I found the Woman of Straw one. Yeah, 814 ELB.
Yeah, so it looks like a different plate.
Yeah,
but still
could be the same one though. Could be the same.
Yeah, probably the same car, like on set, but they must have changed the plate just for whatever purposes. But that's kind of a cool little behind the scenes. It would have been like probably too obvious to bring the Aston Martin out again to put him in that.
I'm looking at a side by side of them. They do look like they're the same one. No, it's not the same one. It's not. No, go back and look again. The Thunderball one, wow, I feel like we spent like 2 minutes on this, and I've been totally wrong. Look at the Thunderball one, and then look at the grill on the Woman of Straw one. They're different. The Woman of Straw one is the 1962 Jaguar E-Type fixed head coupe series.
Okay.
And the James Bond one is the Jaguar E-Type. Huh.
Well, fun fact, the Jaguar E-Type was also used in another very popular spy movie.
Which one?
It was also the Jaguar.
It was.
Yeah.
Hot diggity.
Because look at the back of it, I'm like, that looks familiar. I'm like, oh, yes. It was also
the grill is different on that one, too.
That one is the Thunderball. It's the exact Thunderball one. They use a couple different ones, but yeah.
I'm looking on the Wikipedia list of James Bond vehicles, and we have 10 instances of Jaguars. Jaguar XKR from Zhao.
Yep.
The Jaguar XJ8, which is Mr. White's and Lashif's.
Batista drives a Jaguar in Spectre.
We've got a Jaguar XJ, M's official car. Yeah. Batista drives a Jaguar CX-75. M's car destroyed in an ambush is the Jaguar XJ8. No Time to Die as the Jaguar XF. Oh, so there's a couple of duplicate ones in there. So it's not, so it looks like 8. Anyway.
Jaguar Curious.
Jaguar Curious. I like all these little tangents that happen from this podcast. Often Bond related. But when we're dealing with a film that is directed in the same time period, it's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it probably happened like less in the 90s and 2000s. I don't like his hairpiece in this.
It looks a little different, but...
Yeah, it looks goofy in a lot of shots. And do you feel like he's got like heavy makeup on too? Like he's got thick eye makeup?
Something with his eyes looked a little different, I thought, but...
He's wearing makeup. I feel like
I think it was
maybe I'm
just
wrong.
I think it was just to give you the more pretty boy, rich kid like look, you know. But it wasn't too different in my opinion.
I can't see anything on Sean Connery makeup, but he wore a hairpiece in every Bond film, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like he's got makeup on. Anyway, we'll get into that in the sexy category. What else do I have for notes? He hits a woman. Not cool. Not cool.
Not cool at all.
He hits our lead, Maria Marcello, and it's uh, knowing that he is the ultimate villain of the piece. You get it. Still doesn't make it okay.
Yeah.
But when you don't know that he's the ultimate villain of the piece, we thought we were supposed to be rooting for him, right?
Yeah.
When that happened. And then I stopped rooting for him after that.
Same.
Which maybe was the film trying to suggest that he could have been a villain.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously it's suggesting that he's not a good person, but I didn't suggest that he was the ultimate villain of the whole piece. Obviously, the scheme is a bad thing. He's a bad person for doing this, but I didn't take him to be the murderer. Ugh. And also, as the murderer, how did he miss the detail that his uncle had a tape recorder in there?
Yeah, right? His uncle.
The dude has tapes everywhere. And it's reel-to-reel recording tapes. They're everywhere.
So he, a part of him must have knew something was afoot.
Who, Charles or Anthony?
Charles.
Do you think he suspected that Anthony was on a revenge scheme?
He must have, man, because I don't know, he was able to access that recording as fast as he could, or did he say I don't know. Something, his instincts kicked in. He's like, man, maybe something's afoot here.
I felt bad for him in that moment. I really did.
Me too. That's the confusing thing of it's like
he's a horrible sexist racist.
Yeah, it's like you feel a little bad about Tony, you feel a little bad about Charles, but at the end they're still both pieces of shit, and money is the ultimate poison, I guess, you know? It's what you'll do for money, but then again it's Anthony does have other objectives here. It's just insanity.
They're both humans that have gone down horrible paths, partially through circumstances out of their control and partially through circumstances in their control. Listening to both that Better Call Saul therapy video series and watching this film together, I see a lot of similarities, because you said you hadn't watched Better Call Saul?
I haven't finished it.
How much have you gotten into?
A season and a half.
Okay. Watch all of Better Call Saul. It is a fucking masterpiece. I think it's better than Breaking Bad.
Wow. Okay.
And I love Breaking Bad. One of the things that one of these videos touched on was how when you have this plan, you have to think about who's going to get hurt along the way and if that matters to you or not. And does that compromise your humanity, or just there's a moment in the film where Charles Richmond talks about, played by Ralph Richardson. So looking at the IMDb, you can imagine how hard it's been to not just keep saying that name. But Charles Richmond says one thing about his father, right? That he just taught him how to buy things, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
Am I wrong in that, or am I
Yeah.
confusing it with something?
No, I remember that.
And that moment, that like gave me a Trump moment, you know? Like that dude doesn't know how to properly love. And it's because his father didn't know how to properly love and didn't know how to pass that on to him. Just gave him a simple, small loan of $1 million, right? You know what I mean? My father just taught me how to buy. So Charles Richmond was damaged from the beginning and probably didn't know how to love. And it sounds like it was like an older brother, younger brother situation where Charles Richmond, as the older brother, experienced the most abuse from his parents and inherited a lot of that from his father as a character trait because it's all he knows. And maybe one of the reasons why he viewed his brother as so weak was maybe because he was the one that got babied. The brother got babied. And love and affection and care was given to him where Charles was not. Like, that's why I said I want to see the prequel to this movie.
Yeah, seriously.
I really want to see how these characters get on this path. You know? I'll spoil a tiny, tiny little bit of Better Call Saul for you. Gus Fring is a major player in the show.
Okay.
He hasn't shown up by the time you've described, but
No, I think he shows up.
I don't think he shows up until like season 3 or something.
I remember seeing him or a hint of him. I don't know.
Well, Mike Ehrmantraut is in the first season, and the story builds to him working with Gus. You see how it gives more insight as to why these characters are on the paths that they are on to get revenge for each other's actions.
Right.
And I want to see that kind of character development in a young Anthony Richmond and a young Charles Richmond. No Maria Marcello, nothing against her as a character or as Gina Lollobrigida as an actor, excuse me. Gina Lollobrigida. Or any of the other actors in this, but I really want to see this father-son story and a father, brother, son, mother story.
Yeah.
Wife story. You know what I mean? Like, what is the character motivation for what was the mother forced to marry him, like out of like fear, or was she genuinely in love with him? Like, what was the story? I'm sorry, I'm dwelling so much on this.
That's a podcast on its own.
As much as I love the story in this, I think the story
There's more.
there's more to it. Yeah, I'd be interested in reading the book.
Yeah, seriously.
What other notes do I have? Do you think that was a real shark that they were dragging along there?
It looked like B-roll from something else. I feel like I've seen that shot somewhere before.
I hope it was.
Yeah.
Because it looks like they were filming on a boat, and then they were filming at Pinewood as well.
Yeah.
So there were shots of both.
Yeah. So that essential shot of like it caught on a line. I'm like, I've seen that shot somewhere before. So I think it's been used before.
You mind if I pause to get some water?
Sure.
Okay. I've got a couple more notes. You got any more notes?
No, I basically went through all my notes for the most part. There's a lot of like details on like cinematography, costume design, and the use of
About her
music.
Jackie Kennedy outfit at the wedding. Talking about costumes design.
Oh man, yeah, like that was by far, and the combination of that with the white tuxedo, man, the most iconic, in my opinion, the most iconic tuxedo of all time. Like the regular black tuxedo obviously is there, but the white tuxedo, the white dinner jacket with the black dress pants is like iconic. It's been used. like, in several movies. I've seen Jason Statham wear it in a movie somewhere before. I've seen I think Brad Pitt wears it in Glorious Bastards. He has the Goldfinger suit on with
Yes.
the carnation. So it's such a popular and iconic suit that everybody wants to wear it, including me.
A handsome man can pull it off.
I guess.
And I think I had said earlier, there's like she doesn't have as many iconic outfits, but yeah, she's wearing like the pink Jackie Kennedy outfit
Yeah.
while they're married. Was that the one he was shot in, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it was the pink suit
Yep.
when he was assassinated. But that's basically like what she's wearing at his wedding, or at their wedding on the boat. What else we got? The dock scene. So they're in Majorca. When they're in Majorca, she's had enough of him, and she leaves the boat. And there's this long sequence where she's walking on the docks, which you could cut both with Action of the Tiger, the opening of that, and you said Dr. No.
Yep.
There's a lot of beach stuff that you could cut with Dr. No.
Absolutely.
Or Thunderball.
Both, yeah.
Yeah. As we said, you could just pop the scenes in and be uncertain as to what you were watching. The music is Pokemon jazz music.
Oh my god, and it pops up like several times.
2 or 3 times, yeah.
It's like the actual theme. It's like da 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 da. No, what was it? It was like it was like the battle theme, like it was like da 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 da, right?
Yeah.
It was like something like that, but we kept like hearing it, like even when she's at the pool and it's playing on the radio too, we hear that build, that da 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 da.
Yeah, I've got it here.
Call the witnesses.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Here we go. Da, 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 da. It's like the Pokemon League theme song.
Hurry up! Don't burn that lovely skin.
Maria, don't burn that lovely skin. He looks good. He's tan
Yeah,
in
look
that
at him.
robe that's also got the AR on it.
Yeah, Connery looked like he looks like $1 million. We'll get to that in a few when we get to.
He looks like 50 million
rates
bucks.
for like 52 million.
52?
I think it was 52 million.
No, he said 50.
Oh, okay.
I think so. From listening to it earlier, maybe I heard it wrong. But either way, still 50 million bucks, and he's only given her one.
Yeah, right.
It's that meme of what is it? We're the Millers. Is like, you guys are getting $100,000. Like, well, you guys are getting paid.
Yeah.
So the Pokemon music there, and that villa is a very Bond villain lair location,
Yeah.
kind of. During the will signing scene. Also, it reminds me very much of Godfather 2.
Yep.
Like the Cuba Hyman Roth stuff, as well as another moment at the end when he thinks that he has inherited everything. It's all his. He's gotten away with it. And Tony opens up the doors to the old house and starts walking through, and all the furniture is covered, and the room is lit only by one open window and barely letting in light, and all. And I took my phone and I pulled up the.
It really did give you that vibe. And that's when he sat down, he looks like he's in M's office. Again, I was
Yeah,
like, it's like
or-
the same set.
Or in Michael Corleone's office,
Or, yeah, either or.
but less inviting.
Yes.
But yeah, given that it was Ken Adam, I'm sure he's just like, oh, it'll just borrow the stuff from this set.
Yeah, why not?
Bring it over and bring it back tomorrow. Okay, the cops, no way would the cops leave 2 people that they suspect of murder alone in a room together. No way.
And not hear their conversation.
Or yeah, have a bug in there or something, yeah.
Like, you can't hear the fact that they're yelling about it. Like, that took me out of it a little bit.
on the note of the cops. So that actor was Alexander Knox as Detective Inspector Lomer, which was one of my two of my favorite moments in the film. The first, where he comes in and she thinks he's the doctor and spills everything to him.
That was insane.
And then he said, "No, I'm not a doctor. I'm a detective. I'm with the police."
Why would you spill anything to anybody if you're trying to get away with this?
Even the doctor, I would say he died in the night.
Yeah, like you would have been clear, but you gave him the full truth that he died on a boat, and like I wouldn't tell anybody that.
And then the second favorite moment from Detective Lomer is the spin around in the wheelchair with the tape. Oh, so cool.
Yeah, right. Ooh.
When Connery is in after the Godfather moment in the office, the music starts playing throughout the home stereo speaker system, and he goes up to find the source, and Detective Lomer spins around in the wheelchair, and it's awesome.
He's still
awesome.
He's riding around in it too.
Yes, and it's great. He rides the whole scene pretty much. Very Dr. Strangelove-esque.
Yes.
And during that scene, it is very Poirot, because it's just the spilling of evidence and how Thomas found the recording. I think he thought that. I'm sorry.
I think I actually said that in our watch. Like I was like, I was like, this could use a little Poirot, because of like
Albert Finney comes in. No. I'll explain.
Yeah, because I think I dug Alexander Knox. But I don't know. I feel like you needed some more eccentric. That's just me. I don't know. I feel like you could have used somebody else to play that detective and have it be more dramatic. He was intimidating, but I don't know.
Well, he didn't steal the show, and I don't think you'd want somebody to steal the show for the last two scenes of the movie.
I don't know. I would.
You'd want them to be in more of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Like Poirot steals the show through the whole movie.
True.
If he was just at the end, you'd be like, why wasn't he in that whole movie? He was amazing. So Alexander Knox, I think, draws like the line. He's like, I'll be goofy enough, but not so goofy where you're sad that I'm not in the whole movie.
Yeah. That makes more sense. That makes sense.
And I think the spinning in the wheelchair is just goofy enough.
It is. It's shocking.
Yeah, all it needed was like lightning striking outside, the flash of lightning from outside the window.
It's like a Scooby-Doo cartoon.
Dun, dun, dun. And I would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for you, blasted Thomas and Fenton. And these damn dogs too. The long court shot, I like that. That sounds like I'm talking about basketball, but it's just this long shot in the courtroom of the judge explaining how ridiculous the truth is. Her telling the true story sounds so fucking absurd.
It does.
When you hear it explained by a judge, you're like, oh my God, she's going to jail for the rest of her life. And she does. They sentence her guilty. When Connery shows up at the house, like, did you hear the news, sir? Yes, I did. Means she got convicted. But now, new evidence. Thomas submits the tape. Oh, that was good. That was good.
It's a good ending for sure.
And then, well, good ending to that part of the story, but the true ending to the real wrap-up of Tony's story. Shall we cover that?
Hit it.
He's figured out, and he panics, and he runs out of the room. And as he runs towards the staircase, Thomas shoves the wheelchair at him. It knocks into Connery, and Connery, exorcist, rolls down the stairs and breaks his neck and dies.
Oh. Did you expect the Connery death scene?
Not at all. Did you?
I wanted it to end with the bars closing on him and he was in the cell. Or going
that would have been amazing, because he came and mocked her in the cell. And she like, he wants me to die. He wants me to die. That was horrifying. Also, every time she like breaks out into tears and starts screaming, everyone's like, "I'll just lead you over to this wall."
Yeah.
It happens in the house at Foxhurst, and it happens in the prison. The female guard comes in. I'll just lead you to this wall. Just if walls are good for not crying. But yeah, I was hoping that it would be a reversal as well, that she would get to like say a final goodbye to him as he does life in prison. But good Lord, I did not see the neck snap coming with that.
Absolutely. That was insane.
Holy stuntman going down the stairs.
Yeah, right.
Like somebody had to do that. Ugh. So that's my final note is Sean Connery gets the Exorcist death.
The Exorcist.
For what's his name? Father what's his name? Father Karras, Damien Karras. Right?
I think so. I haven't seen it in years.
It's a great film. I need to rewatch it. Karras hurls himself out the window, tumbling down the stairs outside. Holy shit. Sorry. I didn't mean to spoil that. Oh, wow. It's got Max von Sydow. I forgot. It's got Blofeld.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Alrighty. So I think we've come to the end of the stuff.
I think so, yeah.
I've talked about all the stuff I need to talk about.
Same here.
You got anything else?
Nothing else. I think we go on to our rating
ratings
of the film. Of course, here at Connery Curious, we don't just rate the film. We rate the Connery. We rate the S's H'ing. We rate the sexiness. And that's all.
And we rate the film itself?
Yeah, I think I already
Oh,
said
wait.
that.
You said that already.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
all the things. We rate all the things here. So I think let's start off with you, man, with our SHing. Does the SH?
I'm giving it a 3. How about you?
Prob-
Oh, hold on. I gotta write these down. Whoopsie.
I'd probably stick it
Write
at
these down.
I'd probably stick it at a 3 as well.
3? Alrighty. 3 is for both of us. It's kind of that. A little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. All right, sexy rating. What are you giving the sexy rating of both Sean and this film?
Oh man, it was pretty sexy.
Really?
I thought it was sexy.
Okay. What are you giving it?
Probably a 9.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was like this, before we get the reveal that Connery is a heel, Anthony's a heel. It was kind of sexy, sneaking around and like, we have to kill my uncle and shit. And I don't know, it was sexy. I thought he looked like $1 million. He looks like $50 million. Maria is gorgeous. I think there was a lot of sexy potential here. I think it's a 9. I think it's sexy.
Okay. I'm not gonna give it a 9. For some reason, I had written a 2.
Oh my God.
But that's too low. I think I'm gonna go a 5. Yeah, I know that's a big jump between 2 to 5, but yeah, he looks good. I whatever makeup is on his face though, he's not as handsome. Whoever did his makeup in this film didn't do him justice. But when you see him with his shirt off, you're like, oh boy, I get it.
Right.
She's beautiful. Charles Richmond is just, so sexy. That's a joke.
He's a good-looking guy. Those sunglasses made him look sexy. He was sexier as a dead body than he was when
the
he was living.
lighting of this. Yes, let me light your cigarette, Uncle.
That's what got him caught, was that stupid cigarette gimmick.
Yeah, if he hadn't pulled that move.
He's like, you said you lit a cigarette. Right. And then he runs away. That's what makes him triggers the runaway.
That the little things. That's the leaves of grass moment.
Brilliant.
On the toilet.
Brilliant.
So all right, I'm gonna change it to a 5. I know that's a jump. They're both beautiful. Even Johnny Seca as Thomas is a very handsome man. And honestly, Alexander Knox as Detective Lomer is pretty handsome.
Good looking guy.
And wow, if you go to Danny Daniels as Fenton, if you go to his IMDb page, he's a handsome man as well. He's in Naked Gun 3. And Ace Ventura too.
And he was in The Saint.
Oh wow! Look at that.
I remember him from Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
So he's been with two Bonds. He's acted with two Bonds.
Oh yeah, he's like the witch doctor in
yeah.
I Ace Ventura 2, better than 1.
Yeah.
Way better than the first.
I haven't
movie.
watched it in years.
Way better. Way better.
I'll have to rewatch both of them.
Oh yeah, it's like night and day. It's night and day.
Why is because I remember really loving the first one. I had such a soft spot for it.
Yeah, first one's really good, but it's just like, I don't know, there's more adventure. I feel like the jokes are funnier in the second one. There's more quotable scenes, in my opinion. And yeah, it's on location, you know? It's like there's more excitement in being stuck in Florida, you know? Because he's like in the jungle and stuff. It's a fun movie. I'd rewatch it. Rewatch them both.
Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at the IMDb here as well. There's an actor who plays a solicitor in this film named Michael Goodliff. And his IMDb picture is a painting.
Ooh.
I'll share that with you. See?
Whoa.
He's in Rosemary's Baby? Whoa. Wait, no, he's not. What is this? What's the trailer for this? Christopher Lee? Huh. To the Devil, a Daughter. Huh. Alrighty. Well, that's interesting. Anyway, all right, let's get back to our ratings. I'm so sorry.
So on to the film next?
I don't mean to take your time. So yeah, they're both attractive. I think Connery hitting her takes away a lot of points. And also they don't have much chemistry. Like he forces a kiss on her. We didn't talk about that. He forces a kiss on her. That's not cool. That's not sexy.
Yeah.
And then because it's a film from the 60s, she's in love with him now. This is the second film from 1964 where Connery force kisses a woman and she's in love with him.
That's the Connery charm, I guess, in the 60s.
Ugh, it's disgusting. What was in the water in 1964?
Connery's chest hairs.
Gross.
He was always swimming with his shirt off.
Oh boy.
I mean, him with his shirt off, man. Looks like $1 million.
Yes.
That's definitely Goldfinger Connery.
But I think the hitting and the forcing of himself, it takes away 5 big points from this film's sex appeal, and the fact that they're really the only two sexy people in it. You know what I mean? It's not. This film doesn't. Not like A Fine Madness screamed sexy. What did I give A Fine Madness for sexy? What did you give A Fine Madness for sexy? You gave it an 8. I gave it a 5. Okay, wow, It's also a 5.
Look at that.
All right, yeah. You know what? Then I'm gonna give it a 4. It's got to go underneath A Fine Madness. It's a 4. Erasing that. It can't be above A Fine Madness. Fine Madness is a much sexier film.
All right, let's go to our film rating.
All righty. Now I'm double guessing myself. I can't.
Once it's written, it can never be changed.
All right, we're going with a 4. We will have an episode where we go and fill in these blanks, though.
Oh yeah.
And update things, because like we didn't do the sexy and the SH for Action of the Tiger or
true,
or The Man Who Would Be King, or
true.
Okay, let's go on to the film rating. Mario, what are you giving this as a film?
I thought it was a great film. I was definitely like on the edge of my seat with some of the scenes. Nice little thriller. Didn't expect it to be like that at all. Like it's like a crazy crime thriller. Beautiful shots. I think I'll give it an 8.5.
Yeah?
I liked it, and I would watch again.
8.5 for Mario, which is funny because the film right after it is The Hill, and you gave that an 8.5 as well.
Oh.
I'm going to give this an 8.
Ooh.
I couldn't decide between 7.5 or 8, but I'm going to lean to 8. That twist is damn good.
It's a good twist.
And when you finally realize the whole plan, oh, so satisfying.
It
It is as satisfying as the Murder on the Orient Express reveal.
Yes.
But that film just had a way better cast and cinematography and location. Everything was better in that film.
Agreed.
But I really liked. I wasn't loving it at first because, like you said earlier, at first I said, "Oh, I should have bought this film instead of rented it," and then 5 minutes later I said, "I'm glad I didn't buy this film. I'm glad I only rented it." But now I want to buy this film because I really like it. It took a little bit for me to get into it fully. Like I made the Calvin Candy comparison because you can tolerate how horrible he is because Tarantino is going to give him his comeuppance.
Yeah.
But this one gave you emotional satisfaction in a equally satisfying way, like not bloody and a giant shootout or anything, but it's very satisfying seeing these rich assholes just kind of undone by their own horrible actions and personalities.
Mm.
And as I said, it's so good that I want a prequel. So I'm going to give it an 8. And I would watch it again. I want to watch it again, and I'm going to buy that DVD from South Korea.
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. All right, now on to our most important rating.
The Sean rating.
The Sean rating.
Ooh.
What are you giving it? What are you giving him? What are you giving our main man, Connery?
Connery.
That's who he is in this film. He's running a con.
He is so good in this, Dylan. He's so good in this. Brilliant. He fooled me, man. He fooled that. I could watch this again and I would still be fooled. I got to give him a 9. I think he's great in this. He's fabulous.
I had written 7.5, but you've convinced me. I'm going to give him an 8.5. So you're giving him a 9?
9.
I'm giving an 8.5. He's really good in this.
He's really good.
Again, I don't like the hitting. But when you see the game he's playing at first, he's like, "Don't you see everything that I'm for, he's against, or everything he's against, I'm for." Like, as long as we're opposite, he's got this game figured out. And then you didn't realize, oh, he wrote the rules to this game. Oh, fuck.
Precisely.
He's really good. Yeah, 8.5.
Let's go.
So that brings our average. Let's do our averages here. Our average SH is a 3. Our average sexy is a 6.5. Our average film is an 8.25. That's pretty good for us. And our average Sean rating is an 8.75. Which means, you know what it means, Mario?
The time to move on to our favorite segment.
Sword of the Valiant time.
Oh, yes, we're going to watch Sword of the Valiant and review it again.
Yeah.
No, we're going to go over to Wheel of
commentary track.
Commentary. We got to do the commentary track. But in all seriousness, we're going over to wheelofnames.com to open up the Wheel of Curiosities to choose our next film for next week. What are you hoping for this week, Dylan?
What am I hoping for? I could watch the Anderson tapes again.
Ooh.
I could watch. I could go for Zardoz.
Zardoz, okay.
Hang out with you and me and Sean Murphy. Hang out, watch Zardoz.
Yeah.
I could go for the goofiness of Time Bandits. I could go for Last Crusade. I could really go for Hunt for Red October. God, I want to watch Hunt for Red October.
I'm still leaning towards Family Business.
Another Sidney Lumet.
Which I've said for a few weeks. And, we're getting hyped for Indy, man. Indiana Jones, the new one's coming out soon, so I really want to watch Last Crusade.
Did you hear the reviews have not been good?
I don't trust reviews. Early reviews, I don't trust them anymore. I don't believe them. Because
if the early reviews say something's bad, I'm more inclined to believe them. Because if early reviews say something is good, they have every reason to do that. If they're not being If they're being paid to say it's good, they'll say it's good. And if they're not being paid to say it's good, then they'll say it's good.
People were trying to tell me Guardians 3 was bad before it came out. Like, no. People just review bomb to review bomb because they're a bunch of fucking idiots that like need to like ruin a project of somebody's. It's stupid.
All right. Do you think it'll be better than Crystal Skull?
Absolutely. I'm more excited. Seeing the trailer for this one has made me more excited for. I was excited for Crystal Skull because I was like, oh, cool, Indiana Jones coming back, but like I wasn't really into the whole Shia LaBeouf thing. This one, seeing the trailer itself, reacting to it, I cried. A newer trailer came out in theaters when I went to go see like Guardians and like the last few movies I've seen in theaters. I have showed like new trailers and I cried again. I'm excited. It looks exciting. I think it's going to be fabulous. I think it's going to be way better. I think this is going to be the goodbye to Indiana Jones that we deserved that we had. Crystal Skull was so bad.
The best goodbye to Indiana Jones is at the end of Last Crusade.
You think so?
Yes.
I don't know. I think
that is it is deliberately them riding off into the sunset.
I know, but I don't know.
Like,
and I think Harrison Ford doesn't do just anything. The fact that he's come back and he's portrayed Han Solo again.
What are you talking about?
What?
Harrison Ford doesn't just do anything. He does so much just for money. He's an old stoner. He was in fucking Rise of Skywalker. That movie is hot garbage. He would not have read anything. If he had read the scene that he was in and there wasn't a big pile of money there in front of him, he would have said, no, get the fuck out of here. I'm Harrison Ford. They gave him money, so he said, I'll read those shitty lines.
You needed him in that story. That was the only redeeming quality of that movie. The Ben Solo story arc.
He didn't even shave for that.
Hey, they don't have razors in fucking Force Ghost Land. I don't fucking.
But you get what I'm saying, though. Like,
Yeah,
it doesn't just because Harrison Ford's back for it doesn't mean anything. He's an old man that wants money, and I get that.
Yeah, but
I'd be an old man that wants money too.
Yeah, but for how many years did he like? I don't know. Everything he's done, he was the best part of Force Awakens. That Ben Solo story arc is the only thing I ever gave a shit about in those movies.
That's not Harrison Ford, though.
And
that's not.
I don't know. Anyways, how about that Wheel of Curiosities?
Yeah, let's do it.
We'll fight about Star Wars.
So
later.
I'm excited for Last Crusade when that comes up.
Same. We got some cool guests lined up for that episode as well, which we won't spoil yet.
I haven't watched the Dial of Destiny trailer at all.
You haven't?
And I don't intend to.
Well, there you go.
I want to go into it blind.
All right.
So.
There you go. All right. So, shall we spin this? Whose
Let's
turn
do
is
it. It's I think it's your turn.
My turn?
Yeah. Share that screen with me.
All right. Now we're ready.
I think we're good.
Am I shuffling?
Give it a shuffle.
Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay.
Alrighty.
All right. Dylan, it is now time to spin the wheel of
Memories of Me.
All right.
1988's Memories of Me as himself. Memories of Me is a 1988 American comedy drama film starring Billy Crystal, Alan King, and Jo Beth Williams.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
And Sean Connery is the last credit as himself, uncredited.
Oh, no.
Oh. Whatever. Well, we're going to watch this movie that will have Sean Connery in it for maybe a scene. What do you think?
He plays himself. In a picture of him dressed as a general with a guy dressed as a lobster. I'm intrigued.
As Lieutenant Colonel Alan Caldwell. Yeah, he's dressed as a general. Okay.
Comedy / indie film. Interesting. I'm into it. Let's give it a shot.
Alrighty. Yeah, well, let's give it a shot.
Let's do it. Next week, guys, 1988's Memories of Me, Sean Connery, will return
Yeah,
in some
this
capacity.
is.
You guys
Yeah,
can watch.
It's gonna be interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
It's directed by Henry Winkler.
Really? The Fonz?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So, guys, if you guys want to watch this as well, the most affordable way to watch is free on Tubi. You guys can also get it on your Apple TV rentals, Red Boxes, Vudu, YouTube as well, Amazon Prime.
Which is where we watched Woman of Straw was on Vudu. This is the first time I used that.
Yeah, so those are your options. Tubi seems like the best option. Tubi's pretty easy to use. But, of course, we always...
Or not Tubi.
Or not Tubi. But yeah, we also say check your local library. They could also have the films sitting around somewhere. You never know. But I guess that's going to do it for us here over at Connery Curious. Next week,
Do it for us.
Sean Connery returns in Memories of Me.
I'm looking forward to it.
Me too.
Yeah.
I like the comedies. I didn't expect to see so many comedies in the list. We had a comedy a few episodes ago. So yeah, I'm interested to see more comedy action and him as himself. This is our first time seeing him play himself.
Yeah. And if you were just were you on the Just Watch page?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to share this with you because if you go to the Just Watch page, the shot that they show from the film is this like restaurant bar where
Mariachi band.
a mariachi band is playing, but I want it to be from Naked Gun 3, where it's Leslie Nielsen and Jack and George Kennedy and Richard Griffiths in the wheelchair as the mariachi band. You know to what I refer?
Yeah. Oh yes.
Anyway.
I'm excited, man.
Yeah, me too. It's gonna be interesting.
It's going to be interesting. So until then, guys, thanks for joining us. I've been Mario Lima.
And I've been Dylan Titus. And as always, folks,
Stay curious.
Connery Curious.
You've been listening to Connery Curious, a Titus Compositions and Friggin' Nerds Media podcast. Follow us on social media for updates, memes, and clips. Find us on Twitter at CuriousPod007 and on Instagram at Connery Curious. You can also visit Titus Compositions at Titus Compositions to hear other podcasts and original music, watch music videos, or even pick up a great vinyl record. For more discussion and content about your favorite films, comics, games, and a network for all things nerdy, visit Friggin' Nerds Media on Twitter at Friggin' Nerds. You can rate, review, and share the podcast in-app, which helps us grow the show and reach the other curious Connerys out there. Thanks for spending time with us, and have a great day, but also, remember, stay curious.
I forgot to mention that there's a commercial break in this film, and it's really weird. The movie just drops to black, and then the audio fades out mid-song. It's really weird, and then it just comes back. Okay, thanks again for listening to Connery Curious. Bye. Love you.